Hey guys, how's it going? Shimbob here, and today we're doing some science, bitch! Whoa, I think I pulled something saying that. But in all seriousness, it's not really science, it's a horrible scientific method I'm using actually. Just more my opinion as usual, but I did a little bit of proper research and gameplay before I give my opinion this time. So before I get into too much about the difference between all the Titans, using them as auto Titans and which one's the best and stuff, I just want to sort of preface this video with a few general findings. Finding number one, you will die a lot more. It turns out Titans are pretty good for surviving, because when you're in your Titan, you can't really get one hit killed or killed in a split second like when you're a pilot, and it'll hurt your KD and your team a little bit just because you're sort of feeding them a few more kills, pilot kills, plus basically a free Titan kill every now and then. But that's not to say don't do it, because some people are way better at being a pilot than I am, so if it suits your playstyle and you're comfortable with playing as a pilot and maybe dying a little bit more, then just keep doing it. Because I found even I was getting similar sort of scores, like not horrible scores or anything, but what they don't show on the scoreboard is that I probably died twice as many times as I would if I was using my Titan. General finding number two is that your Titan will get executed like every time you drop it. Like basically as soon as people notice that it's an auto Titan, they're just going to push in and execute you every time, and it's sad to watch. It's a little bit demoralizing really. And the final sort of general finding that I had was that it's actually not such a bad idea to drop your Titan in first, because when you do, then no one else has Titans around, and the Titans are sort of only really good at getting pilot kills, I found. So if you can drop it in when there's no other Titans on the field, then your Titan has a better chance of getting around and getting some pilot kills before everyone else drops their Titans and slaughters him. Alright, well after that cheerful introduction, let's get into each individual Titan and sort of their strengths and weaknesses as auto Titans. Now, you've got to remember the gameplay in the background is just going to be me as a pilot pretty much all the time, because I didn't exactly want to just follow my Titan around and look at him the whole time, because I found that when you do, he tends to do the same thing and just stares back at you and doesn't kill anything. So, moving down the list, let's start with Aion, and she survived a surprisingly long amount of time. I kept checking and she was still up. I don't know whether the others were just spastic Titans, but yeah, she survived a fairly long time. Although she didn't really kill much. I think she got a couple of pilot kills, no Titan kills. I could hear her using the splitter rifle a lot, which can be kind of hard to kill parts with. Obviously, don't expect her to get any kills with a laser shot, because that's pretty high skill. And unfortunately, probably my mistake, I used the 0-point tripwire perk on her when I probably should have used the splitter rifle one, which gives you the 5 blast splitter rifle. Might have made her a bit stronger and got a few more pilot kills. Not a lot really to say here though. I didn't really expect much from Aion. She's pretty good defensively, so you lack a little bit more going forward in attack when you have that ability. So moving on to Scorch, I would say Scorch is pretty map specific, to be honest. Doesn't have a lot of great options for taking out enemy pilots. You can do that when you're in the Titan because you are a little bit more skilled than the auto Titan, but I think he struggled a little bit with killing enemy pilots and was okay against enemy Titans, more so only if they got in too close to him, then he could do a bit of damage, but if they kept their distance, then they would just sort of wreck him. However, he did seem like a good distraction for enemy pilots. I think because he's so big and seems like a really easy target for anti-Titan weapons, then I could sort of just pick off enemy pilots that were distracted by trying to kill him. Okay, next up is Northstar, and I didn't have very high hopes for Northstar, but she did pretty well, surprisingly well, which isn't saying a lot, but I noticed that she was using her cluster missiles a lot, which is a good way of taking out enemy pilots, and that's pretty much the only way that she could, I think. A couple of tethers on enemy Titans, but other than that, she was quite squishy, so if anyone got in too close to her, then she would just get torn to shreds. Now moving on to Ronan, and for killing pilots, I would probably have to say that Ronan is number one for me. I don't want to make any spoilers for this list, but if I had to pick an auto Titan to run around with, it would probably be Ronan. I think it's just because Ronan seems to have a bit more of a tendency to go in and use melee, which is handy against pilots that are jumping around, and the lead wall is good for sort of close range pilots that get caught out in the open, and it seems to be surprisingly accurate with it, so highly recommend this if you do go down this whole auto Titan route. However, he's still a little bit squishy against other Titans, which is to be expected. Tone. I had high hopes for Tone as an auto Titan, basically because I don't play her as a normal Titan. I just find her a bit boring, and I make fun of people who play his tone too much, so it'd be a bit hypocritical of me if I started to do that. And unfortunately, she didn't quite live up to my expectations as an Auto Titan. I don't think I saw her once use the Particle Wall, which is kind of disappointing because I had the sort of improved Particle Wall as the perk I was using as her, which, you know, that might have been my fault, but still a little bit disappointing from her. And lastly, we have Legion. I don't think I really expected too much from Legion either, and that pretty much eventuated. So he just seemed a bit too slow and cumbersome. I would often hear him announcing that he found an enemy pilot and he was targeting them and whatnot, but then all of a sudden they were gone too quickly before he could spin up the Predator Cannon, which was not surprising, but very disappointing. He did seem okay against enemy Titans, and a half-decent distraction to pilots, kind of like Scorch was, just because he's big and bulky, so I could pick off enemy pilots that were targeting him, but I'd rather it if he just got the kills himself. So they're my incredibly accurate, incredibly well-researched, not at all just my opinion results. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, if you guys use Auto Titans much. Let me know if you guys have a favourite or you think that I missed something here. Big shout out to Butterbar Gaming. I know, dude, you talked about this in your video yesterday that you were going to do something on Auto Titans. I don't want to seem like I'm cutting your grass at all. I promise I already had this video planned when I recorded this audio, but from what you said, it sort of sounded like you were going to be talking about the differences between using the Auto Titan chip and not using it. So if you guys haven't already checked him out, go over and check out Butterbar Gaming. I'll leave a link to his channel down in the description. Great content creator, great dude. But yeah, if you like the video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. That's really appreciated. And until next time, just keep doing what you're doing, guys. Cheers.